Try to understand this. Life is always there, as God is there. So, these living entities, part and parcel of God, they are also there. Where God has got multi-energies, potencies. Out of that, 3 potencies have been taken as very important. Parasa Shakti Vividaiva Sriyate. God is multi-energy. Out of that, 3 energies have been taken as principle. Material, spiritual and marginal. The material energy is this material world. The spiritual world is the spiritual energy. And we living entities, we are also spiritual. But we are called marginal because we may live in this under the subjugation of material energy or spiritual energy. So the living entities, they are eternal. Their only position is marginal, sometimes manifested here, sometimes manifested there. So in the material world, the living entities are already there. We haven't got to create. That is foolishness. It is never created. Simply in the material world, it becomes manifest in 4 ways. Some of them are coming like trees, plants, and some of them are coming from perspiration. Not coming, being manifested through fermentation, perception, and some of them are being manifested through eggs, and some of them are being manifested through embryo. The living entities are already there. Their struggle is going on, and they become manifest in the material world in 4 sources. In the spiritual world, there is no, they are eternally existing. There is no question of manifestation. So this is the science of living entities. What do they know? Therefore I say they are rascals. They do not know anything, simply trying to create. What is the creation? It is already there. But they do not know what is this. And still they are scientists, they are advanced education, all rascals. They do not know. Therefore, through Bhagavad Gita, we say they are rascals. Mula. Now you tell these murhas that, my dear son, you cannot create, neither it is created. You find out how they are coming out, what is their source, who is the brain behind all this nature, that you find out. That is knowledge. So if you struggle for this and try to find out the original source of everything, then someday you may come to this platform, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma. then you will understand that Krishna is the source of everything, and then your knowledge will be perfect. This is Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Whatever we see, that is the source. Do you think this nice flower have come out without any brain? This nonsense philosophy. The so-called scientists will put some bombastic word, this, that. What is that explanation? Nobody can understand. Only it will be understood by them only. They will put some language in such a way that it is to be understood by them. Unless they explain, nobody will understand. But they say it is automatically being done, nature. That's not the fact. Nature is an instrument. Just like this wonderful machine, computer. But still there is an operator. But they have no common sense. Then where is the machine that is working without any operator? What is that machine within their experience? How they suggest that the nature is doing automatically? Nature is wonderful, machine, but the operator is Krishna. That is real knowledge. Because the machine is working wonderfully, there is no operator, where is that experience? Have you got any experience, Dr. Rule, like that?
No,
Yeah? Oh, you have got any experience?
no.
You have got any experience? Then why do you say nonsense this? You have no experience and you say something nonsense. Ludicrous. They say nature. What is nature? Nature is a machine only. Just like the harmonium, it is a machine. But if one expert operator is there, it makes very melodious. Oh, nice. Will the harmonium play automatically and bring melodious sound? So they have no common sense, even still they are scientists. That is our regret. They are less than common sense man. That you have to expose. That these people have not even common sense. And they are passing on as scientists. That we must protest, because we are servant of God. We are servant of the scientists. And call them directly, ask them. Let them defend that they are not rascal. He brought some scientist. I call him, you are rascal, you are demon, you are everything. But he tolerated. But we say, internally he accepted that he is a rascal. Actually, they have no common sense. Oh, we are not scientists, but we speak from common sense, that's all. Yesterday, day before, I was talking on common sense, on law points. So Rupanemu said, you are bigger than law. I do not know that I am bigger than law, but I was speaking on common sense. the difficulty is that misleading. So many people are being misled by the so-called politicians and scientists. But Gandhi says, he has written so many nonsense things. One thing is that he said, I do not believe that there was anybody as Krishna living ever. Krishna is of my imagination. This thing he has written. And is Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma's definition is there in the Bhagavad Gita. Mahatmanastamang partha devi priti masya. Mahatma means devotee, who has understood Vasudeva Sarvanika. But these rascal politicians, they have become Mahatma. For politics, they can do anything, lie like anybody, and so many things. There was a big writer in Bengal. So he is giving evidence in the court. That's a comic. So he says, do you think I am editor, I am pleader, I am prostitute? Man, indirectly he is saying that they are prostitutes. As the prostitute can say anything, I am into lies, for their profession. Similarly, these people, the editor and the pleaders, they are like that. Do you think I am prostitute? Do you think I am lawyer? Do you think I am editor? Newspaper editor? So take this formula from the Shastra. The living entity is never created. These rascals are trying to create living entity and spending money and going to hold big conference. So where is the question of creation? They are already created. Why do you do this? Common sense do not come in their brain. Huh? Why?
Because they are illusion.
Huh?
They are illusion.
Innocent?
Illusion. Illusion.
Illusion, yes.
Maya Prutagana.
Yes. Maya Prutagyana. That is stated in the Bhagavad. They are so-called educated doctors, but actually they have no knowledge. Simply they are bluffing, cheating. Where is the question of creation? So many millions and trillions of living entities are there, and they are making conference how to create something. See, this childish proposal. And wasting time, and misleading person, and wasting hard-earned money of the state, and big foundation supplying them money. And if you ask, give us some money for Krishna consciousness, no, we are not interested in religion. We are interested in science, and this is science. All fools understand. Mudha. That is our test. Anyone who is not Krishna conscious, he is a Mudha. Bas. We have got the test tube. This Bhagavad Gita. Namana duskitanam mudha prapadante naradhava. So as soon as we see here is a man, he has not surrendered to Krishna. All right, you are Mudha. That's all. We haven't got to test him. The test tube is already there. So you tell this Mudha that why you are wasting so much time and money to find out how to manufacture life. Then what are these lives? How they have come? That is not a problem. that without your creation of life, the world will go to hell. It is already there. What do they say? Why they are trying to create life? Huh? What is their answer? What they will get it. The things are already there. Suppose there are so many motor cars, and if I manufacture one motor car, is there any great credit for me? The motor cars are already there. When there was no car, motor car, the first man who manufactured, he had some credit. Who manufactured the Daimler or somebody else? So he had some credit. Yes, they have done something, horseless carriage, people will get some inconvenience, that's all right. But when there are thousands and millions of motor cars and creating accident only, and still if I manufacture a motor car, what is my credit? Huh? What is my credit?
Zero.
Huh?
Zero.
Zero. And they are going to prove this zero, and they are going to have some big conference. So many people will come and spend money unnecessarily.
You want to make a better human being.
Huh?
You want to make a better human being by making life themselves. You want to make it better.
Yeah. That is our proposal. They don't waste time. You are living entities, there are so many living entities now. Try to understand what is your actual constitutional position so that you may become happy and peaceful. This research should be done. Why is I going to waste time in this money and time? You can write to the organizer, sponsor of this meeting. Then why you are foolishly going to waste time like that? You can say at least my Guru Maharaj says like this.
Srila Prabhupada, I think if they try to create life, they want to claim authorship.
Huh?
They want to claim authorship by creating life. They want to say, we did it, but they do not understand that they will never.
What do they want to claim by creating life?
Authorship. Authorship. Authorship.
Author, originator.
Originators. They want to be the
Originator already there, how you can be
They
originator?
want to be, yeah.
Already life is there, how you can be originator?
They're
That is your foolishness.
They're simply trying to disprove Krishna. If I can do this, they're saying if I can create life, then there's no need to postulate a God. I can be God.
That means demon.
Yes, they believe in God. And their vision is that
So how we can respect the demons? We cannot.
No. You don't give them any credit.
The other fools, they can give some respect, but we are not going to give. We say we will never be able. We can say, this rascal can give some knowledge that your this attempt will be failure. Because we know life cannot be created. How will create? We know the formula. Na jayate. So how this rascal will be able to create? I am not a scientist, but on the stand of Bhagavad Gita's assertion, na jayate, na mriyate. Neither it is created, neither it is dies. So if somebody wants to create, then at once we shall call him a fool. We have got tested. Very boldly we shall say. Now let them prove that you can create. This is our position. So Krishna conscious person, he has got very strong position. He speaks just what Krishna speaks, that's all. Finished.
You know, like you described yesterday,
Ah.
when the scorpion comes from the rice,
Yeah.
they think that when some living entity becomes manifest, that he's being created.
Yeah.
That's because the material...
That also he cannot do.
No.
How the scorpion is coming out of rice, that they do not do. Such a foolish person, he is scientist.
They're thinking, because they're able by different methods like synthetics and do chemistry, that they can produce.
That is
certain-
craftsmanship, that is not
Yes.
knowledge.
But still, they're thinking because they can make the background
It's
of
like if you paint a picture, Rose, you are a painter. Not that you know the knowledge. A painter is not a man of knowledge. Man of knowledge means he knows how things are being done. That is man of knowledge. Painter imitates some painting, that's all. He may be a good painter, but a painter is never taken as man of knowledge. I think therefore two departments, art and science. So this knowledge, this technical knowledge, suppose one man has created an aeroplane, that is an art, that is not knowledge.
So if they create some synthetic, that is an art.
That is an art.
Simply copying.
Yeah. Just like a good cook is a good chemist. He knows how to mix up the masalas and ghee and makes very tasteful things. So you can call him a good cook. The chemistry is nothing but mixture of different chemicals, that's all. There is soap, there is oil, there is alkali. You mix it and very proportionally, and soap comes out. Very useful.
How can we explain to the scientists how gross matter is being produced from subtle matter and ultimately from life, from consciousness? Like if a scientist were looking at the creation occurring, what would
Every scientist knows that originally the sky, the sound, and from the sound, then what is air? What is the process of creation from subtle to gross?
First, ether produces sound.
Yes. From sound there is air, from air there is fire, from fire there is water, from water there is earth. This is earth, water, air, fire. And the sound, transcendental sound, as it is said in the Bible, let there be creation. And in the Vedas also it is said, sa utkata, it grants over. Now, that is to be found out. How from sound, from ether, sound is coming, sound. I think that is already in the science. Is it not?
Not known as like science.
Just give one example of television. You gave one example of television as showing that gross form comes from the ether. The transmission of television.
But that now this television, yes, coming, sound is coming, ethereal vibration and so many things. That you have to see. But the Vedic knowledge is already there.
That question that Manava is raising that came up with the questions that all the forms of our this living entities,
Hmm?
which all the species, their forms, their gross forms.
That is coming from mind.
Yes, whether that has come all on a sudden,
No, all of a sudden.
or is by gradual evolution
Yeah.
from.
Sada tadabhava bhavit. As you are thinking always, so you are creating your next body.
That still is it's not the answer. What we want is at the time of creation of the material world, where all the species, 8,400,000 species,
Yeah.
they are all simultaneously manifested,
Yeah.
just at once.
Yeah.
Then
But they are not manifested, yes, because it was like sleeping. When there is no creation, and there is sleeping stage. Just like in the sleeping stage, even in this, at the present moment, at night, the dog is sleeping, the bird is sleeping, the man is sleeping, the tiger is, everyone is sleeping at night. But in the morning, as soon as they are awake, they understand, I am tiger, I am dog, I am man, I am this, I am that. Everyone remembers that I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to go there, I have to bring money from there. All duty is gone immediately. So all these living creatures were sleeping at night, but when there is morning, they again become the same. That is creation.
When Brahma creates,
Yeah.
does he first of all create the aquatics, then the plants?
No.
No, everything is at once. There's no growth. It is all immediate.
There is a process from aquatics to this. But when there is creation, all of them come at once.
So that process is transmigration
Yeah,
of the soul.
yeah.
That is evolution.
So in the last creation, if somebody could not come to the human form of body, now again he will be able to come. Therefore the creation is there. Another chance is given.
Yes. Otherwise there'd be no chance.
Srila Prabhupada, there is the idea that matter comes from life.
Huh?
There is the idea that matter comes from life.
Life, yes.
I do not quite see how. I do not quite understand how matter can come from life.
Just like a mechanic was sleeping, and as soon as he awake, he again begins to manufacture motor car. In the sleeping stage, he was doing nothing. But at awakened stage, he begins his work. So therefore he is living being, and the motor car comes from him. Not that the motor car was sleeping. He was sleeping, the living entity.
Can one assume that matter is a kind of energy?
Yes, matter is also energy of God.
Of which of the three types of energy does matter come from?
Matter, material.
Material.
Yeah. In the material world there is question of matter and spirit. In the spiritual world simply everything is spiritual.
Can we assume that energy as such, all three types of energy, are related to life?
Yes,
They emanate from life.
from Krishna. Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhava. Find out this word. Aham sarvasya. Sarvasya means both matter and spirit.
We had some. Can you get yourself a Srila Prabhupada? You want something?
Aham sarvasya prabhava.
Now we have some questions now. We have some questions we have to ask Srila Prabhupada. Because we're writing a book. got some questions, some specific questions. We have to have time to get these questions. Did you write them down, Sir John?
Yeah, we have this.
So let's go to one. This is the first one. We have about evolution. Now, the answer was his nose gradually.
I was going to get my book from. Yes, what we want to do.
So afterwards, we want to get Tamal Krishna Raj for this meeting.
Yeah, he's very.
That's just the two of us. So I want you to get these questions answered so we get on with this. And you see, the whole thing is you were barking off the wrong track. Like I said, sticking to Bhagavad Gita very carefully. Sure, probably not stick.
Just common sense.
Yeah, it's common sense. You have to pray for guidance, intelligence.
No technical.
You can be technical, for example.
Mm.
You see, that is up to you. You have to see the examples.
But don't make it a completely technical approach.
Never. What was that?
Can we still ask the question about how getting along with things?
Yeah, that's it. It's all on the same.
No, they're different devastations, so they get wiped out, so how do they get back?
Well, in the beginning of creation, all the forms of life appear at one time, at the beginning of the beginning.
Okay.
So every day, every night, they go to sleep, he explained, the night of Brahma, when goes to sleep. At the ending of karma, wherever their bodies dissolve with the devastation, so it goes on a tiger when I die, but still, I have to take the next form of life. So listen, when I wake up, I take the next level of life. And all levels are created at once. And all souls are sleeping. And they enter into their bodies of life, of a particular body in terms of their past life. So if I'm a tiger now, what's the next stage above tiger? I don't know. But if I don't finish up in this day of Brahma, I'm in the next day of Brahma, when everything begins again, like the morning, then I take the next level above.
The wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
That's it. He has found out the original source. There is no confidence needed.
Oh, there's another question. During the day of Brahma, at the end of every Manu, there's a partial devastation of the planets up to Earth and Celestial, right? Now, at that time, there's like a flood, and the animals that are in their particular stage of transmigration, or the living entities, their bodies are all killed. Now, at that time, when the end of that period is over, how are the bodies manifest? Is the question Richard was asking.
There is no body. They are reserved in the Vishnu's body. And again, when there is creation, they come out. And therefore, matter comes from the spirit.
So in that
Matter is there, creation, matter. So you take advantage of the matter. Just like the cloth is there, you cut it according to your body. And there is a coat. The spiritual body is already there. Now the matter is there. Now from matter you make your body like a dog, like an ant, like a fish, like a tree.
So everything is, all the different species are created again.
That is, he died with that mentality.
Yes.
It is there, just like you go to sleep, but all your mental activities are reserved. In the morning you're going to begin.
You say that the living entity, he's thinking about a particular kind of body and a particular activity.
Not particular body, particular desire.
Particular desire.
And according to the desire, Krishna is giving him facility through the material machine to give him a particular type of body. Just like one man is thinking of eating anything nonsense. So Krishna says that you give him this body, a hog. He can eat even stool, that's all. You want to be naked, nudie. So Krishna gives him that he is very much anxious to become nudie. Make him a tree, stand up for 5,000 years naked. This is
If I desire, say,
whatever you desire.
if I desire something to appear here now,
Huh?
if I desire something to come here,
Yeah, you remain here as insect.
if I desire a plate of prasadam to appear here,
And then you will go to Vaikuntha.
How do I do
Know the
it? If I
process.
just desire, how is it that?
Yes, you have a desire, you are creating everything. Why these material varieties? Desire. In the spiritual world also, varieties. The desire. You want to serve Krishna as his friend. You want to serve Krishna as his lover. You want to serve Krishna as his father, as his servant. Or you want to serve Krishna by supplying fruits and flowers. Or river Jamuna. Everything what you like, Krishna will give you opportunity. In this material world, in the spiritual world.
After complete annihilation, and then when the creation starts again.
There is no question of annihilation.
I mean the material universe.
Yes, it is manifest, not manifest, not annihilation. The energy is there. Just like sometimes I become angry and sometimes I am not peaceful. That means anger is annihilated. Anger is there. It may be manifested any time. There is no question of annihilation. You
Yes.
say like that because actually it is bhakta abhakta, manifest and non-manifest.
We don't see it, so we say it's not manifest.
Yes.
So during this time, there are still living entities which are not manifested.
Milima is already there, but his desires are manifest and non-manifest.
Yes, the living entities are there, but it's not manifested in different bodies.
That is another thing, that you cannot see him without body. That is your defect. There are so many living entities in the air, you cannot see them. That is your defect. Therefore, Vedanta Shastra Chaksha, you should see through the Shastra, not with your so-called eyes. Yeah. Knowledge is through Shastra authority, not by our senses. That is not knowledge.
So that explains the why sometimes some scientists ask that you are very so sure about 8,400,000 species. They ask, how are you so much sure about 8,400,000?
Because you have heard from authority. As you are asking assurance from me. So I give you the knowledge from where I have heard. You want to hear from me? I have heard from authority. That's all. Where is the difficulty? Why you are asking me? You want to hear from me. So I have also heard from authority. This is the statement. You take it.
So when they say that there are some plants that can grow from just branches, we stick the branch in the soil, then it just grows to
The
another plant.
same thing, the living entity is there, but he is manifested in such a way. The same explanation.
If they created a
Just like there are many living entities within my body. And when this body stops, decomposed, they come out in different forms.
Are these the living entities constant?
Huh?
Are these living entities?
Yes,
are these-
nitta.
They are constant.
Nitta.
They don't change.
Nitta sasatayang nahannate hannamane sharira. Why don't you see these references? It is never created. It is ever existing, eternal. Only it appears to be temporary on account of accepting different material bodies. Therefore, Pandita Samadarshina, one who knows, he knows that he has changed his body, the same person. Just like father and mother knows, when the son becomes very stout and strong, the mother sees that same child. Others maybe bewildered. One who has seen the child very long ago, now he has become robust. He cannot say. When mother says, he is my child, that child. So Pandita, some other student.
For the soul there is never birth nor death, nor having once been does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain.
That's all. So where is the question of creation? But because we have got these material eyes, we want to see everything through this material manifestation. We are seeing that he is dead, he is alive, he is born, he is this, that.
That is the defect of the scientists. They only see the body. So
That is their defect. Therefore they are ashes. Gokhara. That is defined. Anyone who takes the body as the self, he is Gokhara. Animal. And that is our protest, that you are animal, you are passing as very learned scholar, scientist. That we want to protest. We want to expose them, that the cheating people. They have no perfect knowledge, still they are passing as scientists and big men. And that is our protest.
When we say that the living entity is there, and that he is the one that makes the molecules and the atoms come together to form a body, just like the scientists give explanation. No, we can't.
No, because the living entity is there for the formation of his body, so many things are going on. Action and reaction of the matter, that's all. That is depending on his desires. It is so subtle thing. He is desiring and action reaction is going on. And as soon as the living entity is not there, this action and reaction will stop. So they are trying to find out the missing thing. The missing thing is the living entity. That they do not know, foolishly. That's why motor car is running very nicely. As soon as the driver goes away, it stops. The machine is there, everything is there. But this rascal, mechanic, he comes, something is missing. I don't know why something is missing. But he does not know the missing part is the driver. He is finding out in the motor car what is missing. The motor car is everything is there. The hand is there, leg is there, the heart is there, the intestines are there, everything is there. So they cannot explain. They say now the blood has become white. Have to make it red. What is the difficulty? So they do not know what is missing. Neither take, learned instruction. That is their defect. The real thing, the driver is missing. But that they will not accept. They are so foolish, they are thinking that motor car is running automatically.
Like a child.
Huh? Like a child, yes. As the child will say, motor car is going on.
Srila Prabhupada, would it be possible for them to make a body and a living entity enter into it?
Huh?
Could they make a body and a living entity enter into it?
Yes, there is yogic principle. They can enter into a young body and act as a young man.
So a scientist then could claim he created life.
Huh?
He could, the way they taught, if he made a cell and...
First of all, let them, these foolish rascals, let them understand what is the point is missing. Then they will replace. They have no knowledge what is missing. They are so fool.
Srila Prabhupada, they would not create.
Huh?
They would not create, they would only imitate.
That is not, it is never created. That is their missing part, that life is never created and they are trying to create.
right. Their theory may be right about how the body forms, but they're missing the soul.
Body forms as soon as there is life, body will form by nature's arrangement.
Is their theory may be right?
Huh?
May their theory be right? Like they say they come from amino acids and so many things. But
That may be or not right, may not be. Who cares for them? It is being already done.
It is simply describing it.
Huh?
They may be describing something.
That is also because they have no knowledge, how they can describe.
We're explaining that, just like Srila Prabhupada's example, that the driver in the car. So inside there, we also said that yes, molecules are molecules are the ingredients to build the material bodies. But this does not mean that molecules are the living entities.
Yes.
But there is a driver necessary.
Yes.
Or
That is the first instruction of Krishna. Dehinasmin yatha dehe kauma. Dehina. There is a living entity, driver within this body. That is the first instruction. Unless one understands this simple thing, he is an ass. There is no knowledge, because everything is based on something fictitious. This is the first thing one has to learn, the scientist, that there is the driver which is missing. Or the driver is moving this body. And if the driver is educated, that he can move this body to Krishna, back to home, back to God. Then he becomes perfect. So we are educating the driver. We are not painting the tin car. This is Krishna consciousness.
does the scientist actually observe something external to his mind, or does he only observe
Speculation,
only in his mind?
that's all. Just like you cannot see actually what is beyond the wall, and there is some sound, you can simply speculate. This sound is due to this sound is due to this sound is due to this, but you have no clear knowledge. This is called speculation. But if a man behind the wall